People, Deluded, I'm back again, out and about in London, obviously at my 9 to 5 and whatnot. Videos still have to get made, folks, so forgive me for any noise that I can't personally control and all of these sort of things, but we're here. We might as well speak about a couple of things, to be fair with you. And first thing I'm actually going to speak about is Mkhitaryan's departure. Now, I've already spoken about it in a video already, but it's officially, well, it's not officially been confirmed, but it will be, you'd imagine it'd be officially confirmed in a matter of hours. You've all seen the images of him obviously flying out to Italy. There's rumours he's undergoing his medical at a private hotel now. So we'll see how that one develops, people. For us, I think it's a good move. Clearly, well, it is a bit bewildering that Mkhitaryan obviously played against Spurs. He came off the bench. Maybe that was a weird sort of farewell by Henrikh that we obviously didn't know about at the time, people. Moving on from that though, he had what? He got 84 minutes or so against Newcastle. I'm sure he played some minutes against Liverpool. So maybe saying he's a frequent member of the side is a bit rich, but he has played football, and you would have thought that Henrikh would use him for the squad. But we all know the age he's at. He's 30 years of age. He's on around 200k a week. It is time to keep it moving. He's not gonna. If you're picking Arsenal's best team, Mkhitaryan isn't in that. And for the, not that his wages is relevant, but for the wages and performance levels should correlate in an ideal world. The top players or the better players in whatever position should be on better money. And you look at Mkhitaryan, you can't honestly say he's top 5 Arsenal players or one of the first names on the team sheet. So he does need to keep it moving, people. There's no way around it other than that. You're struggling, as much as I like Mkhitaryan, you're perhaps struggling to put together around 9 or 10 games that he's played well in or really excelled in, really and truly. His best performance is probably in that social media Yo Pierre thing. For me, it presents an option that's best for all parties. First and foremost, Mkhitaryan is a professional, and potentially Henrikh's broke it down to him saying, listen, you're not going to play a significant part of this season. He goes out on loan. He obviously gets his first team football at a team like Roma, in a country like Italy where there's a lot to do off the field and it's a good environment as well. He obviously gets playing time. We remove a player off our wage bill for, at least for this year, or some of his wages off the wage bill for this year, and Henrikh is allowed to give chances to young players or players that he wants to move forward with. Mkhitaryan gets his side. Obviously Roma get a new player. There are conflicting reports, admittedly, people. Italian reports are saying there's an option to buy or an obligation to buy for 15 million. British outlets are saying there's no such. So we'll have to wait for official details to be confirmed. But I'm hoping Mkhitaryan has a world-class season. I know he can't, but I'm hoping he has a top season purely because it's in our best interest. He's contracted until 2021. If he didn't necessarily have the best of seasons, he's obviously we're going to have to revisit his future next year, and there's also the risk of him just seeing out the final year of his contract here, to be fair. I mean, Mkhitaryan, he's not been a bad player, he just hasn't cut the mustard, and Alexis Sanchez and his deal is probably the worst swap deal that's been in the Premier League. Ironically, they've both gone to Italy and whatnot, but they both flattered to deceive, and obviously Alexis' best performance for United was playing the pianos, and then obviously I just said the Yo Pierre business. I mean, Mkhitaryan's a good player, but he just hasn't cut the mustard. I mean, in 59 appearances, 9 goals and 13 assists. That isn't the worst of returns for someone who's more or less been a bit part player, but you're struggling to find any real patches where Mkhitaryan has showed any real consistency. Ironically, probably last season there was a period where he was playing quite well, but other than that, it's not really anything. For me, I'm keen to see who gets chances, because that would mean more chances for the Nelsons, for the Martinellis, he made his debut against Newcastle but hasn't really featured. Obviously that could also open up a space for Emil Smith-Rowe. He's injured at the moment, but he can play on the flanks as well as an 8 and a 10. Obviously he's injured at the moment, but in terms of a body, that could be given to him, because we've lost Mkhitaryan and Iwobi, 2 players which could have been used for the squad, 2 players which have been used on the flanks. So there's options, or there's game time for young players to get, man. I mean, Mkhitaryan, like I said, thank you for your 59 appearances, your 9 goals and 13 assists. For Manchester United, in 63 appearances, he got 13 goals, 11 assists. So there is something there, but that just shows you he has been inconsistent and whatnot. And it was a terrible move from an Arsenal perspective to sign him. It only looked good in the sense that we was losing a player in Alexis Sanchez and we're gaining one for free. So it's literally one body in, one body out. But we all know we should have just sold him to City when they wanted him, to be fair with you people. So congratulations to Mkhitaryan, man. I hope you smash it and whatnot. Obviously, Mkhitaryan, in an Arsenal squad, he'd play on the flanks or the 10 sort of position, or on the flanks. So we've got Ceballos, Joe Willock, as well as Nelson and Martinelli and other players, Saka. covering them 2 positions in the cam role and the flank. So considering his age, it's in his best interest he goes and plays. Because let's just, apologies people, let's just say he does want to get a new deal somewhere, he wants to stay permanently at Roma, he has to, because he does face next season being in limbo. And yeah, he can wait out the last year of his contract at Arsenal, which he'll be 31, 32, but where would his move be after that? You'd imagine he's got 3 more years as a professional. What would he go and do there? Apparently you're seeing Mkhitaryan was offered via like middlemen Arsenal employed, was offered to French clubs, but they rejected it. So it's nice to see that there's a proactive approach from everybody involved in getting players out of the club and bringing players in. Personally, I think it's been a very good summer in terms of outgoings and incomings. At the time of making this video, I haven't heard anything about Mustafi leaving in any capacity, but we've brought some good players in, and we finally moved the dead wood on. We've moved on the likes of Iwobi, Welbeck's been let go on a free transfer, El Nene's gone on a loan, Jenkinson's gone removing sentiment, Bielik brought in some money, Iwobi, an offer you can't really turn down for Iwobi, to be fair with you. So we've done, definitely in terms of incomings and outgoings, it's been a positive summer, and I feel Josh, Raul Sanye, Hus Farme, Emre, everybody that's been part of this coordinated search to better our team, to bring in players, to move players on and just decide how we move forward as a club. I commend them people, because we've got a long way to go, but you've got to critique and praise fairly, and I think they've done their job, man. So on that note, people, there's nothing more to add. Deluded, I'm out. Thank you for watching and rocking.